All right, Kenman here, and today the Kizer Mini Roach feature and showcase. What are we doing with this today, Kenman? Well, let me tell you before we start. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I purchase everything at retail price, and I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. Okay, so I have this Kizer Mini Roach. I got this on one of Kizer's great sales. They've been doing a lot of good sales. This is their 11-year anniversary. All month they've been featuring several different knives and a lot of great deals and stuff. I do have a Kizer affiliate link down below if you want to go use that and then make a purchase. It helps out the channel. I make a little couple bucks off of that. Feel free to do so. If not, no worries. But yeah, Kizer Mini Roach. Got a 154 cm blade and this really cool textured honeycomb kind of handle. It's got a lot of different types of openings. You've got that fuller hole. You can thumb it out really easy. And like I said, you can flick it out simple. And it also has a flipper tab. Boom. That flipper tab works nice. It's got a good detent on it. It basically doesn't require much. You can kind of just push button it in there and it flies out. Flies. Had a fly in my throat there, pardon me. Flies out great. The action on this is really cool. So what are we doing with this today? Well, the thing is when I bought this, I didn't realize something about this flipper tab right here. That flipper tab is an option. Like what? You could buy it without the flipper tab? Well, no, but you could take this one off. What? See that line right there? Apparently this flipper tab is removable. I missed that in the details of the knife when I was looking at it and made the decision to purchase it. Usually I kind of read everything about it. Action is such a fun knife, but that flipper tab, it's an option to be removed. So what we're doing right now is we're experiencing the knife as is with the flipper tab. Some people are flipper tab people, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a nice way to open a knife. It's got a good action. It's easy. You can take that knife out, bam, fires out really good. Then the flipper tab acts as kind of a finger guard when you're doing work and prevents your hand from sliding forward. So it's got multi-use. It looks nice on there. It's clean. Doesn't stick out too much. But then that would be one of the cons. Some people will say, oh, I don't like the way it sticks out, or they don't like the way it feels right there. There is a choke up point on this, so you're kind of moving forward on a smaller knife. It's comfortable here, but my hand gets right to the end. Pinky starts to fall off a little bit. That choke up spot, though, feels really good. When you get up in there, you can get in for some fine work and feel like you've got a lot of control. I really like the feeling of that. And look at all this extra space. Hand just fits in there really good. Does that need to be there? Because it's kind of pushing in between, almost like a hot spot. So we have to kind of weigh pros and cons. Is it something that should stay on this knife, or is it something that should be removed from this knife? Well, the neat thing is we're about to find out. I've got it this way right now. All we need to do is a little bit of work, and we can get it the other way. So let's take some looks, some final looks. Here it is closed. Flipper tab does kind of stick out. When you look at it like this in the shape, that really hangs out there. Nice jumps all the way around it though. Makes it for a real easy flip out. If you're someone who likes flipper tabs, I wouldn't even think twice about not even worrying about that option. Just go ahead and leave it on there. Use your flipper tab and enjoy it. It feels good. I would have never cared. I didn't, like I said, know that that was an option in the first place. And so for me, I could have easily just continued to have this knife. You can flick it out and still have that flipper tab on there. You know, I can thumb it out with that flipper tab on there. So removing it or not wouldn't really make a difference. It just gives an extra option. So when we do remove it, that's another thing to consider, is that takes away one of your fidget factors? Is that a fidget factor that you want? Is it an option that you like to keep a little more protection? This does have kind of a deep finger groove, so you're already kind of being protected by the scale itself and the shape of it. And you still have that option for that choke up. So we will see. Here we are. Last looks. Here it is open. How much it sticks out there. All right, let's do it. I'm going to get out this pad like the one I use when I do die projects. It's basically just in case when you take it apart, if there's any pieces that have oils or anything on there, I can keep my black leather table surface clean. All right, looks like there's a captive pivot on there. I don't know how much we really need to take off. I don't know which side it's on. So we're going to try, I wonder if I can see. I apologize, I'm looking off. I've got it off camera here, trying to see if I could figure out what side the screw was on, which I could not. So we're just going to have to. Wow, that is a large, oh, I see, it's got a collar. Interest. Very cool. I'm going to try to hold it together. So that was a T8. And we have T6s, it looks like, for the body screws here. I don't know which side I need to remove because I don't necessarily need to take this completely apart to get to that screw to remove that. It looks like it's this side. Of course it is. So that might be good because the other side we would probably have to remove more screws with the pocket clip. Okay, anybody have one of these and have you done this? Oh, I see what I've done. Kind of doesn't spin as good when one side's been loose. I'm going to tighten these back down to free up the other side so that the barrel, the spacer in the middle wasn't just spinning free. Yeah, like I was saying, is who's got one of these and have they done this? And did they prefer it one way or the other? Okay, that's an issue is I do have to take all of that off. All right. Try to be careful. Pay attention. All right, so it is on this side. So here's our blade. You can see the screw. So that bearing is right there. I'm just going to leave that bearing on there. I'm just going to hold on like this. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen this screw up. And it has now been removed. There we are. Now we can go back on. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do this, but we're going to give it a shot. A lot of times you can't line it up like this because the pivot, there we go. See if I can make this work. Come on now. I need to shimmy this through here. That's going to be the only tough part, trying to make that go. And I got to find that flat spot for the There we are. Almost there. Maybe twisting the blade. Get it? Got it. Good. All right, so we have this big collar. Get the other side of the pivot on there and kind of not going to totally tighten it down since I did take it apart. We kind of have to recenter the blade. So I'm going to put it back together like when I do a die project or something. And you got to pay attention to that blade centering. So we're not going to totally crank everything down. Just going to get it so it's all holding on. Are these the same size? They are. All right. Last one. Okay, I'm going to close the blade. And then I'm going to crank the blade all the way down. But not so tight that it's just crazy tight, just tight. All right. Now I'm going to tighten everything else back down, both sides, since I did loosen this side. I never did touch the pocket clip, so we should be good there. All right. Boom. Not too terribly painful of a job, right? So a little interesting mod to do without having to do too much work. I'm going to loosen this pivot back just a little bit now. Open it up. You want to make sure it's solid when it's open. So I'm going to just loosen it a little. See if it's still solid. Which it is. Okay, we are good. There it is. So that was the screw, and the flipper tab has now been completely removed from the knife. We can get this out of the way. And now we have the same knife with no flipper tab. So let's go through that same thing. Now we're holding it here. You can see it's clean across there. You can actually see where it went. That's kind of interesting. So it's got this weird gap open on one side. Those that love that uniform, both sides equal, might bug them a little bit, but it's not really anything of people might notice. They're like, oh, what's going on with that? But doesn't stick out at all. Very smooth, very clean. And I don't have that option anymore. So now it's thumb only or flick out only, which is still satisfying. That's kind of my favorite, is the flick out anyway. So here we are. Here's what it looks like open with no flipper tab. So look at that spot. So we had that choke up thing where it really felt like it was helping for keeping your hand from sliding up. But right now when I'm holding on here, that loop is deep. I'm getting stuck in there good, and you're tight. It feels nice. Those jumps right there hold your hand in place, but you still have this choke up. And now this choke up, there isn't that little nub in between your fingers. It feels cleaner. Boom, nice and tight. You can hold on to it good. I like that. I honestly think I'm going to go flipper tabless for now. I've had this for, I don't know, a week or two. And it had the tab on it the whole time, so I've been playing around with it with that flipper tab. And so now I can mess around with it for a week or two without it. And see what I think. Comment below, what do you think? It's a fun knife. It's cool. Are you a flipper tab person, a non-flipper tab person? Comment below, what do we feel about it? I know some people, they like to do flipper tab deletes. One of the ones I'm thinking about is something like the Kubi Titiuses that I have. This one people use a lot as a flipper tab delete, because you can go in there, remove that, get it out of there, and then just have this be a flick out only knife. Yeah. What do you guys think about it? I actually honestly feel that my grouper, the Kizer grouper, watch the video on it there, It's a newer one with the button actuated liner lock. Really fun. Very similar knife from Kizer. Like I said, I've got an affiliate link with Kizer. You can click on that down below if you make a purchase. It helps out the channel. But I was considering flipper tab delete on this. I just have to take it apart, cut that thing out of there. What do you think? Flipper tab, no flipper tab. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.